So, hope you're having a great day. We're going to carry on from where we left off. Um, Now this is going to be a shorter video. So this one we're going to create a crosshair for our project in our screen, like to sit on our screen. So like you know where you're clicking, so you know what you're aiming at. For example, if you want to like say click on this box, then you'll have a visual. The player can see where the center of the screen is, so they know exactly where they're clicking. Or pressing or interacting with. And then after that, after this video, we'll start building our interaction system with the blueprints. But before that, let's just do this one because this one is really short and straightforward. It's just simple widget. Now you can go and create your texture in Photoshop, Paint, GIMP, Affinity Photo, whatever application you want to use. You can download them. I've just downloaded it from Kenny Assets, HIO. And if you scroll down somewhere, you'll see somewhere down here, Crosshair Pack. Now there's like over 200 in here, and you can support them. And when you hit download, you can name a price. So if you want to donate $1 for them, entirely up to you. I mean, you're getting over 200 of them, so it's entirely up to you if you want to donate or not to them. But yeah, they have a lot of asset pack. Like in the asset pack, I think like 200. Yeah, over 200. I used in here. I've created a folder, a HUD folder, and I've used Crosshair 20. Now you might want a different one. Entirely up to you. This I just created in Affinity Photo. This will be for the next video after this, so please ignore that. And but yeah, I just put all the HUD textures in here. But yeah, so this is going to be our crosshair. So let's create a widget. So in the blueprints folder, I want to make a new folder here and call this widgets. Okay, and I'm going to right click and then scroll down to user interface, and I want to add a widget blueprint. I'm going to hit user widget, and I'll call this HUD. You can call this whatever you want. I'm just going to, so I know it's the crosshair, HUD crosshair. Double click this to open, and we're presented with the HUD designer, like the widget designer, right? And here's all your panels, assets, like whatever you want to do, buttons, text. You'll find it all in here, all the tools on the left hand side. This is your tree, your hierarchy. So similar to the outliner over here. It's the outliner, but instead of outliner, they just call it hierarchy in here. Anyway, I guess it's because you have to build a specific way. With the tree structure. But anyway, what we want to do is get a panel. So we want a canvas panel. And you just drag this in. Boom. You can also search for this as well. So you can use to search and just type in canvas as well. And we also want an image. So I'm going to use the search and just type in image. Make sure I spell it correct. Image. And I'll drop this underneath the canvas panel. Boom. Now what we want to do is center this, so where our crosshair will be. So we're going to click on this button here where it says anchors and choose the center one, center pivot, center. We want it to center the screen, right? You notice it's still offset. The image itself is offset because the anchor point on that image is here on the left. It's justified to the left. So what we need to do, and to the top left, should I say. So what we're going to do is just change the alignment to 0.5 and 0.5, and that will now center that to the center of our screen. We want this now to be a square because our texture is a square, depending on what texture you use or the image size. So you want to adjust this size on the X and Y. So I'm going to just set this to like 64 by 64. And I think that's fairly good size. I mean, you may want a bigger size or smaller size, entirely up to you. You can play around with that. Maybe you want to go 32 by 32 or, 128 by 128, up to you. And where we drag our image in, or you can search for it here, or you can just drag it in from your content drawer. So you can go up to here, HUD, and then just drop that texture in, boom. And you can see we have our texture loaded in. And that is pretty much all we need for, I can close it. That's all we need for the HUD itself, for creating the HUD, the crosshair, should I say, for the HUD. So compile, save, and we close this. Now what we're going to do is trigger this, right? So we want to say when we start playing the game, we want this to, we want this to load. So we're going to go to blueprints. I'm going to third person blueprints. You can choose to do it with the level blueprints as well. It's up to you. I'm going to do it with the third person blueprints. So it follows the character. And in here, I'm just going to do begin event play. Right, and we're going to say create widget. Oh, create widget. Yeah. All right, and then HUD crosshair. That's the one we want to load, right? And then we want it on the viewport, right? Add to viewport, and that should be it. I mean, that's as straightforward as you can get. I think you can expose this variable if you wanted, and then give it a variable, and then say if you want to turn this off at certain points, you can do that. Maybe we'll do that later. So maybe during a cutscene you don't want the crosshair visible, for example. I don't know. You want to turn it off or turn it on, but we'll keep it simple right now. We'll just build it basic. Hit save. Let's close this. Go to play. And you can see there's our crosshair. Like I said, maybe during the cutscene, you don't want that crosshair visible, so maybe we'll do that in the future. But now we have a crosshair, and we can see what we're clicking. Now, if you want to add some opacity to that, because it's just maybe we want to add some, so we can go back into our HUD content, go to our widget, and we can change the opacity here. Is it under color and opacity? And you can bring this down. Let's go zoom in a little. Let's say let's do 0.7. Alright, compile and save. If I hit play, yeah, that looks a little bit more better. It's not solid white. There you go. Actually, do you know what we could do? Thinking about it, make it our life easier. We know. If I go to the blueprints, let's open this up. Did I do it up here? I can't remember where I did it. We can cut this. Let's cut this. Alright. Let's delete that begin play. We don't need that. Compile, save. Let's put in the level blueprint. So let's close this. I think it was in the level where we triggered the sequence, right? Because when we enabled the input and disabled the input, we could say just trigger the event. I mean, this option you can do it as there's so many different ways you can do it, but you can see here when we re-enabled the input, we could just enable. If I paste this back in here, we could just say enable our viewport. So after all of this happens, our cutscene, we just say enable viewport, boom, compile, save. If I hit play, we've got no crosshair. It just really depends on how you build your logic and what you want to do. And there's the viewport. I mean, there's the crosshair after the cutscene finishes. There you go. Anyway, there's lots of ways of doing it. Entirely up to you there. We'll slowly build up on this. Anyway, next thing we'll do in the next video we'll do is create an interaction system. So we'll know if we click on, say, this cube or this wall or whatever, if we chose to make it interactable, it's like, say, this allows the user to interact with this, but they can't interact with this. Um, you know, so that's what we'll build next. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you again. If you do have any comments you would like to leave, advice, um, tips, that help me. Maybe there's another way, because I know there's so many ways of doing the same thing with node-based softwares and projects. There's a million ways of doing things, right? Some ways are more optimized, some are better, some are worse. I might be doing it worse, I might be doing it right. I don't know. I guess it depends on your use case as well. But anyway, I'm waffling on too much. Enjoy your day, morning, evening, and night. Bye bye.